So I guess the question for me is, if you were thinking about getting a Line 6 catalyst, how does it actually sound compared to a real tube amp? So I'm going to do some sort of tests in the room and see if I can, get a sense for these things. I've just plugged in. We're using the Chime model on the catalyst, sorry, nearly said Katana, and we're using an AC15 normal channel. Now I think the first thing to say is that not all tube amp sounds are warm and lovely. Some are quite spiky, and that's a common misconception. You might kind of think, oh, the thing that sounds thinner and glassier, potentially that's going to be the catalyst, but I've just plugged into the AC15 and it's, it certainly can sound quite spiky. So I'll just jump into this and show you the tones in the room, and you can kind of make your conclusions from this, I guess. I could mic these up, I might try and do that as well later, but it's a bit tricky in my experience to try and mic things up and get across how they sound in the room. So that's sort of a caveat, I'm sort of limited in my skills in this stuff. So just plugging straight into the Vox sounds. Can sound quite kind of glassy. So if I turn the tone cut up to about halfway, so you hear it's obviously got quite a lot of volume. If I plug straight into the catalyst, same sort of volume, but a bit fuller in the low end. this has got the hum setting turned on, so I'll probably turn that off at some point because I don't think it's necessarily the sort of thing you want all the time. But, you know, for that kind of... we have a bit more gain. You know, it's a very brash sound, this Vox AC15 thing anyway. So the gain now, if I push that to a similar kind of level, the catalyst is definitely a lot fuller. So if I again take out some of the mids and bass maybe. To me it sounds like there's two real amps. It's not like one's clearly a valve amp and one's clearly not. It's a bit of an uncanny thing. So here's a tube screamer now just to see what this does in front. So I think if the question is, can the catalyst in the room sound like a real amp, the answer for me is unequivocally yes then. I think this Chime model is supposedly sort of Voxy but with a bit more of a full low end, and that definitely seems to be coming across. I think in comparison it'd be fair to say that potentially the Vox definitely is less, you know, low end focused. Whether that's a good thing or not for you, I guess is up for you to decide. I had a question in my mind, would I actually recommend something like the Boss Katana or the Line 6 Catalyst over a real tube amp? So for instance, I found this second hand for like £280, and definitely in my head I thought there's going to be more of a vibe with the AC15, and certainly for a lot of people this might be the amp that gets it done for them. Obviously it's going to be less versatile than the Catalyst. Obviously to record with it you'd also need a mic and interface and all that stuff, but you know, there are real tubes in this thing, and potentially that's what gets you off in a way. But in the room, standing here with them both, I can say, you know, I think the Catalyst is more than holding its own with that kind of tone at that kind of volume. It's got more low-end focus there, and you know, it's not trying to be that exact thing anyway. But you know, there's a volume there, and there's less of that kind of high-end piercingness, which I guess we would typically think of like a digital sound. But as I say, I don't think that is actually a digital sound, you know, because the Vox AC15 definitely sounds to me to be significantly kind of brighter than the Catalyst for this particular thing. So I just wanted to try that and put that out there as a sort of test. And it was a question that I had in my own mind, you know, does the Catalyst actually sound like a real amp really, or is it something slightly different? And so that was, I thought, that the fairest way that I could kind of test those and see what I think. Now obviously the Vox AC15 we could bring down a bit quieter as well, so let's just try these things a bit quieter. I'm really liking that, the Vox. I bring some of the bass back in. AC15. So in conclusion, I would tell you if I was disappointed with the way that the Catalyst is performing with the AC15 side by side, but I think, okay, Nimi! But I think I could say happily that I think that is responding to a dry pedal well, and is holding its own, and I think sounds really decent in the room comparing the AC15 and the Catalyst. So that's a good thing. It sounds full in the low end. It's got cutting bitiness to it if you want it to, but it's also a little bit more tameable than the AC15 as well, obviously.